Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
But we start our day with a moment of
Good
silence.
morning.
A quick moment of silence for the 9/11 victims.
On the means, go hundreds and fifties. Keep up and not for a penny. You know that's a stupid decision. Paying for
Okay, there's our silence. And people to our reading room. Admitting people. Mr. Beggins.
Good morning.
9/11.
Good morning. I'm sitting outside of Madeira Beach, where they do every year a nice commemorative session on the 9/11 Memorial Park. And interesting day. One to remember and one to realize that we've got some pretty cool country that is unified when it needs to be.
Yes.
You know,
Good things can come from bad.
that's right.
Yeah, I was talking this morning. I remember we were doing, it was a Tuesday, we were doing a sales meeting in Apollo Beach at our old office by the public shopping center. And I think it was, who was it? She's passed away since, but she made an announcement that something happened, and I made light of it. I felt like such a jerk. I was doing a sales meeting, and I said, okay, it's enough. The media blows everything out of proportion. Let's just keep focused and go back to work. And then hell broke loose, and the next one hit, it was crazy. But it was a Tuesday in 2001. I think those are one of those things we always remember where we were when we heard about that.
I was doing the Indian Rock speech training.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Bloomer runs in. He's not going to believe it. And I said, what? And then the same thing. Then we went next door, and the Red Lion at the time, the TVs were on. So we're under the TV. So interesting time. And I think back then we were probably talking about how important it is to have some goals, get some listings, and stay focused. That was probably the conversation we were having prior to that
That was 22 years ago.
Yep.
Crazy. Chris Reed, where were you 22 years ago?
Oh, where was I that morning? I was actually driving back from over in the Newport Richey area to Tampa for a class, because I was still taking some classes at USF that morning. So I was driving from Newport Richey over to USF and listening to it on the radio.
Yep. We'll all remember where we were.
I was in third grade.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I was in a school classroom watching it on the TV hanging in the top corner.
Okay. Well, that is behind us. We thrive through as a nation, as people. And now it's time to do something new. So Jeff and I were talking yesterday. And we're going back to the idea of clarity, focus, actions, and accountability. But we're going to challenge you to think about quarter four, because now is the time to prepare for quarter four. So Jeff, you want to tell them, or want me to tell them?
You tell them. You tell them. We'll kind of banter back and forth, because I think it's kind of fun. Yeah,
we want to tell you, we want to challenge you to manifest 3 things that you want to have by the end of quarter four. Manifest. So I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen if you're not driving. And I'm going to read you the 8 steps of manifesting. I had it open. Now I got to find it again. And the idea is not getting complicated on it. Craig's going to go through the definitions, but it's New Year's Eve, right? You're sitting around with your loved ones, whoever they are at the moment there, and it's New Year's Eve. And you're looking back on the last part of the year, and you're fired up, and you're excited, and you're proud, and you're accomplished, and you've gotten some cool things to happen. And now what we're talking about is, what are those cool things that are going to happen to you between now and the end of the year that are really going to be game changer, life changing, fun stuff that makes you happy and proud, right? That's kind of what we're talking about.
Yep. Well, do you want to do that now? You want to ask for, because what we were supposed to do last week, we continued from the week before, but we had no class on Monday, was doing the CMAs. Who wants to share some successes about sending out the CMAs that you did to the high sales force?
I can share one for Kevin Friel since he doesn't usually come on these meetings.
Okay.
Kevin Friel is one of our top agents in the South Tampa office. He's been with us for 17 years, and we got him doing Moxie. He sent out CMAs last week. I think it was on Friday. Within 5, I think he sent out some sort of Moxie e-blast situation. It went out to like 1,500 people, and he got a phone call within 5 minutes from some guy, and he was like, the conversation started, "How did you get my email?" And Kevin just killed him with kindness and said, "You know, we don't door knock anymore. I don't do this. This is how I get business as a realtor. We have tools," and blah blah blah. And the guy softened up, and Kevin's going over for a listing preview.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So within 5 minutes, somebody reached out to him, and he's got an appointment for a listing preview.
From a cold email.
Yep.
Okay. And what does that say about things? The medium is the message, right? Are we sending out good looking packages?
Yes, they're beautiful.
Yes. Oh my God. Whoopa said she was 2 miles away from the Pentagon when the plane hit. You felt the boom. That's crazy. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, come on, people, share. Who else had some results? Who did it? Monica, raise your hand, put a thumbs up on the screen. Who sent out some CMAs? Dale, you did? Excellent. The effort is part of the process. Thank you for others helping me admit people. Anybody else? Well, if you're not going to share, I'm going to move on. All right, so paper and pen, ready? Setting intentions for the end of Q4. So let's break that down. So Q4 has what, 12 weeks? And we are now the second week into September. So we have 2 more weeks. So we have 14 weeks to get our act together. And number 1 for the rules of manifestation are number 1, set your intention. So Jeff, talk about what you said again for the group.
It's
not money.
No, it's things, right? It's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It's that sense of pride and accomplishment and joy that you're going to experience on New Year's Eve, wherever and with whoever you're going to plan on being with, and what put that feeling into your body, right? It is an accomplishment. It is, maybe it's I got out of debt. Maybe it's I stacked some cash to buy something. Maybe it's I did a cool donation to my church or my philanthropy. I did something to my house. I did something for my kids or my grandkids or my neighbors or somebody, whatever it is, right? This is for you. This is the 3 things that are going to fire you up and make you feel damn good at the end of the year. And that's where it all starts, guys. This is 98% of the battle right here. This moment right here. And so take a couple minutes and think about what you're tired of not having and accomplishing, that you've been lingering in your mind that you've wanting, but you don't have yet. And let's write them down. 3 things.
The emotions are an important part here.
Yeah.
Because just like we were just talking about with 9/11, look how much emotion was inflected on that day. And every single one of you remembers where you were, what you were doing, and what was happening. And you remember what the World Trade Centers look like. If I asked you what the Sears building in Chicago looks like, most of you wouldn't know what that looks like, because there's no emotion attached to it. There's no meaning to it. There's no anything else that's attached to any of that. So it goes the same way with your intentions and the things you're trying to create. You created a memory about 9/11, where you were, there's meaning attached to it. And that's something that's going to stick with you forever. It's very simple to do the same thing with intentions. Create an intention, create the feeling and the emotion of what you want to create and what you want at the end of the year. And the more emotion and more meaning and more feeling that you create there, emotion creates motion, and you start to take stronger action, and you start to create more of a memory of something that you are creating, and then you'll actually have it and it becomes more meaningful for you. There's a whole process, and that's why the art of manifestation, the 8 steps here that you're going to go through, are really important.
Right. So give me some head nod. I'm going to read some notes here. Mike Clayman said, I emailed 22 CMAs to expired listings and I got 2. That's pretty awesome. Good job, Mike. Kathleen gave me a thumbs up. Lauren said, I sent out a few for upcoming listing presentations. I was complimented on what a great presentation it was. Very nice. Put Kathleen back in. All right. So everybody got 3 intentions written down? Give me some head nods. 3 things. Anybody want to share? Well, it's coming up. All right. So number 1, set an intention. Set 3 intentions in our case today. Number 2, keep doing what you're doing. Right? Don't stop. Don't change. Everything you're doing works. So what does that mean? Keep using your tools. Keep using your actions. Use your moxie. Keep practicing what you're practicing. And just do a little bit more with the emotions tied behind the excitement that you're going to feel at the end of Q4. Right? You're driving your new car. Your house has been fixed up. You got money in the bank. And how does it make you feel? Does it put a big ass smile on your face? Sarah, come on in. Okay, so keep doing what you're doing. Number 2. Number 3 is my brother's favorite. You want to say it? The temple.
Oh, don't get caught up. It's the ancient Thailand prophecy, and it's the fuck how, right? I mean, we get too tied up saying, I'm going to get 30 grand by doing expired listings by the end of the year, damn it. And you get so fired up on this is how it's going to happen. That's where people screw themselves up. Because if it doesn't come, if you're not getting the responses from expireds, then now you're a failure. But are you a failure? No, because it's not the how, it's the what, right? That's the whole key here, guys. It's the what are we looking for? And don't get attached to how it comes, because once you get into this game, which it is a game, it's a fun game, then you're just going to find that people, places, situations, events, and opportunities will come your way that will get you there. And it might not be exactly the way you think it's going to happen. So don't get too high up on the how. That's the number 2. That's very important.
Number 3, actually. So number 1, set your intention. Number 2, keep doing what you're doing.
3.
Number 3, fuck how, which is PHUKHAU, just so you know. It actually is a temple in Thailand. And number 4, this is going to be interesting, is tell everyone what you're doing. Right? Why are you working so hard right now to accomplish these 3 things? So Whippa's going to say, hey, Dale, just so you know, this is what I'm doing. Or actually, Whippa might tell a customer why she's doing this. I want to save up. Who was it? Lauren wanted to put a new kitchen in her mom's house. And she tells everybody around her that she wants to help her put a new kitchen in her mom's house. Well, actually, she bought her mom a new house. So screw how, right? If it wasn't put the kitchen in the house, she got a new house. That was even better, right? So it's not what she intended on, but it came out the right way. So tell everyone what you're committed to, and it will help you manifest it, because other people will help you do what you want it to do. Okay? That's number 4. Number 5, connect deeply with everyone you come in contact with. Just like Kevin did, Jessica, your story. Hey, somebody called us, how did you get my email address? And he just said, look, I'm a realtor. I got to find business. And he connected deeply with that person and ended up getting an appointment. How cool is that? So connect deeply with everybody and ask them how you can help them. That was kind of our mission last week, right? Ask people how you can help them. Okay, so number 5. Number 6, play the perfect game. Anybody want to jump in on that one? Yes, relationship building, and it works. Play the perfect game. Just like Jeff said earlier. It's not, if you set the intention to get a new Cadillac,
but you end up getting a GMC, right? It's perfect. Whatever comes your way is perfect. It's just what you're intended to have at the time. Who starts their 8:30 classes at 8:44?
Yeah, the simple process there is if something comes to you, take it.
Mhm.
If something's offered to you, do it, right? And it just things are coming to you. When you set this game in motion, that's that I said earlier, 98% of the game is setting it in motion and setting that energy out there. And then you don't know what happens. We did a little presentation at the Cambria last week. I was there early and I started talking to the guy who valeted my car. And nice guy, having a conversation with him, and comes to find his dad's a CEO of a really large corporation, just sold out, and has got a ton of money. He's looking to do some hotels and invest, right? And so we're going to go have lunch later this week. But so who would have ever thought that? I don't know if it happens or not, but the guy was placed in my path because I've got a lot of goals, and step over nobody, connect with everybody, just have a conversation. That's how the game works, guys. Just talk with people, have conversations.
Dale, I heard you had a chamber mixer at the office last week. Is that you're muted? So if you get invited to a chamber mixer and you show up and you meet somebody, just like Jeff said, right? Connect, play the perfect game. If you got invited to a chamber mixer, show up, talk to a stranger, see what happened. What happened to you, Dale? Did you meet some cool people? Did you expose our company to some neat people?
Yeah, we had 18, Joe Brown and I put it together, and we had 18 come to the coffee event. And two things happened, just like what you said. Now they have in their mind, of course, Joe Brown and myself, but they also have that cool building in their head.
Yep.
Meaning because it's such a different kind of building, it kind of, people are in awe when they open the door and come and see our office.
Nice. Now there's 18 people that have you top of mind in their filing cabinet in their head, and they're going to hear somebody on the street saying, "Yo, I'm going to sell my house, I think." Well, you got to call this Dale guy. I met him at a chamber mixer the other day. They got a beautiful office and really cool people.
Yeah,
Yep.
it really turned out nice.
And that's playing the perfect game. So that's number 6. Number 7, ride the wave. What does that mean?
I got a picture on my wall of an interesting one, surfers. And one is swimming out to the wave, one is missed the wave, one is on top of the wave, and one is way past the wave. Right. But every one of them is out there, quote unquote, surfing. Yep. Right. You just got to know that it's all part of the game is slack tide when not much is happening, when you're on a roll, when you've got nothing going on, when you miss something, when you're just paddling out to get something, and just don't get frustrated with it. It's part of the deal, right? It's just, but you're in the game. You got to be in the game.
Wave, there's another one coming. You got to believe that to be true. And it is.
That's it.
Have you ever been in the ocean and seen it perfectly calm? It's always moving, right? Sometimes it's rough, sometimes it's not rough, but there's always another wave coming. So you're not missing opportunities as long as you're playing the game. So get out the water.
But you got to be in the game having conversations, and
Yep.
Some may work, some may not, but you got to keep having conversations.
Mm-hmm. Number 8, don't be attached to the results. Whatever comes your way is what was meant to come your way. Stop getting in the way of the universe providing for you. That's what it's going to do. If you decide you want 5 listings and you only get 4, but they're $4 million listings, great. It's not the 5 that was important. It was the fact you took action and made things happen. All right.
And what's the same? There's no bad goals. It's just bad deadlines.
Yeah.
Right. So if you needed 3, you wanted 2 listings by Friday, and you didn't get them by Friday, that's all right. Get them by Tuesday, it's fine too. Right. Take the pressure off. Just keep working. As long as you go back to the beginning, which is what are you doing this for? Back to the intentions.
Clarity, focus, action, and accountability. Chris, you want to comment on accountability?
I was going to comment on the last one. Don't be attached to the outcome. A lot of times we get really attached. Like, you know, Jeff was saying, I wanted 5 listings by Friday. They didn't come on Friday. I had 3 of them, but then sometimes you have to ask yourself a different question, and a really powerful question that I've been challenging myself to ask. And all the times that I feel frustration, that I feel stress, that I feel like I'm not getting where I'm supposed to be, or any of that, I start asking, how is this working out for me? Number one, everything is always working out for me. Even when it doesn't feel like it is, everything is always working out for me. And then I ask myself, how is this working out for me? In some of the shittiest times where you feel the worst and you're having such a hard time with where you're at, if you ask yourself, how is this working out for me? And you challenge yourself to find the positive in that, how is this specifically working out for me? Okay, well, if I got 5 listings on Friday, it was coming into the weekend. I had a kid's birthday party and I was supposed to go someplace else because I had someone coming in on Sunday. There's no way I would have been able to handle all 5 of them over the weekend. So the universe spaced it out. So I got 2 of them on next Tuesday, and I got the 3 that I could handle on Friday, and everything worked out exactly how it was supposed to. How is this working out for me? And just challenging yourself to say that everything is always working out for me. And how is this in this moment working out for me?
Yep. So don't be attached to the results.
And sometimes you need, like, you know, getting back to what you were saying about accountability, sometimes that's what you need. You need someone that's outside the box, that's looking in from a different perspective to help you see that, and to help you see how this could be working out for you, asking you different questions, because we tend to ask ourselves a lot of limiting type questions that kind of keep us right where we are, and not ones that challenge us to look at it from a different perspective that are going to get us to a different place. So accountability, having a coach, having somebody that's there, that's going to challenge you a little bit, that's going to ask you some different questions, that's going to put a different spin and a different perspective on things, can really help you see that.
I'm watching a show on Amazon Prime right now called Billions. It's driving me crazy. It's a hedge fund company, and they've got a full-time shrink on staff just to handle everybody's bullshit so they can stay on top of their game. And that's kind of what our managers do, right, Kat? We hear all these stories of what's going on, all these things that happen, and we're almost like shrinks, right? Just refocusing and repurposing the negative stuff we all have in our heads. All right, so the idea today is to focus you on 3 intentions that are going to put a big ass smile on your face. And part of one of these results was tell everyone what you're doing. And since you guys aren't sharing very much today, I'm going to try one more time. Who wants to share 1 or 2 or 3 of their intentions by the end of the year? Jackie, I might call on you because you've had some major life changes going on and you're doing some pretty cool things. Did you like 3 intentions? You impressed me a lot with your hypnotism class you just got certified in.
Right. Well, that's really funny. I have my website up. It's called, the name of my business is called It's All in Your Head. And I designed a self-hypnosis that I've been using on a daily basis that is bringing abundance into my life. And so I've been doing a self-hypnosis on myself, and then I actually used it for somebody else because they saw what was happening with me. So I'm sorry. But anyway, so I'm doing that. But one of the big things in hypnosis, and one of the big things with any of your goals, is that you have to visualize that you already have that goal.
Exactly.
So I have 3 intentions in my life. One is to be debt free. So I'm working really hard to get to that point. The other one is to be able to help my family more than I have. And the other one is to actually get back into exercise and fitness, because I sort of lost that. But those are 3 that are really important to me. And in the meantime, I've been doing this and reaching out to the people in my neighborhood and doing this abundance deal every day. And I've been doing it for about 2 weeks now. And last week I had a listing appointment, which I got. I got a price reduction, and a neighbor who really didn't talk to me very much, her dog got out, and I got her dog and brought it back to her. And she said, I've been meaning to talk to you. She said, my daughter needs to buy a house, and my aunt's buying a house and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I took the daughter out on Saturday and on Sunday, and she got a brand new D.R. Horton house yesterday morning that we sold. And I'm taking the mother out, and we're looking at South Shore Bay for her to buy in the 55 and older community as well. So, just reaching out and talking to everybody like I always do, but
Right.
I've set my intention to have my business going. And one thing that you guys need to, if you work in this area, go to South Shore Bay to D.R. Horton right now. They have 4 townhouses. Well, 3, because I sold one yesterday. They have 3 townhouses that are available right now. They've lowered the price to $304, which is a brand new townhouse, 1,600 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, single car garage, but a double parking space, so it's set for 2 cars. And they're buying the interest rate down to on an FHA to 5.99. And my person is doing conventional, so she got a 6.1 for a conventional loan, but that payment on that house is $2,000 a month. You can't rent for that. At $2,000 for a brand new home that's completely guaranteed, $10,000 toward closing costs. And in South Shore Bay right now, their monthly fee is $248 on the townhouses, but that includes your cable TV, your internet, your insurance, because in South Shore Bay, they had to have insurance in the building. So you only need an HO6 policy. So that's picking up that insurance disclaimer that everyone's so worried about. And so, I mean, basically, you're going to have your house payment, your taxes, and your cell phone, and that's it, because everything else is included in there. So, I mean, it's a really good deal for somebody that's maybe a first-time home buyer that can afford a $2,000 payment.
All right, what can somebody do with
Anyways,
that information?
put it out to the world, which I already did yesterday, but
I mean, who could do that? Who could do a 15 or 30-second video and post it to an Instagram reel or a Facebook thing or TikTok and mention, I mean, Jack, you were so convincing when you just said that, right? You can't even rent a house for that. And you didn't get to the benefits of mortgage interest tax deduction, tax write-offs, all the other stuff. It's actually supremely cheaper than any renting.
Right. So if somebody else doesn't, I already have 2 more customers that I'm taking out there. So you guys better hop on it, because they only have 3 more.
Now, I want to comment on Jackie because her intentions were really, to Chris's point, had nothing to do with real estate, did they? Well, they do, indirectly. But being out of debt, how's she going to get out of debt? She's going to have to make money. So the intention is getting out of debt. But the action, that's the part of what we're trying to get across. Set the feeling, set the emotion, and everything else will pop back in the way it needs to pop back in. Right? So the fact that she did that and she rescued the neighbor's dog that got her to this, that's the universe popping things into your plan because she has an intention that's clear about getting out of debt.
Right.
I ask you to personally about your debt, but I know it's not bad. You can do it.
No, it's not bad. It's not that. It's at 72, I don't want to work until the day I die. And so I'd like not to have the house payment and that kind of thing. So I'd like to at least get it down to the point where it's, although my mortgage is like next to nothing really. But I just really want to be in a better position financially, because unfortunately Mark was sick for a long time and that didn't happen, but it will, because I'm going to make it happen. So it's all good.
I think there's some small little things that you decipher that are a little bit different. Like you, instead of saying, I want to get, I want to get out of debt, or I want to get rid of all my debt, you say, I'm debt free. So like some little shifts in little words, like, because if you believe in like law of attraction, law of abundance, law of vibration, if you believe in that, like attracts like. And if you have to really create the emotion and the feeling of the things that you want, and you need to come at them from a feeling of already having them, because the act and the emotion of wanting something means you don't have it. And if you're trying to attract a specific thing or attract a vibration that is in line with what you are creating, you can't want it anymore, because if you want it, it means you don't have it. Even if you have a strong desire for it, that means you want it even more, which means you really don't have it. So actually creating the feeling of having it, that's where the emotion comes in. Create the feeling of already being there, seeing yourself December 31st at the end of the year, already having the things that you wanted, creating the feelings, the emotions, all of the people that are going to benefit from you having those things, the life that you're going to live, the way you wake up in the morning, how great it would feel to have those things. Creating that type of emotion and that type of feeling is what really helps to attract more of those things like that. You're creating a vibration that now is in line with the vibration of all of the things that you are already creating. But if you just want them and have this desire of wanting them, it means you don't have it. And you're going to attract more of that feeling of lack, of not having it. And you're going to have more reasons to want it, but not to actually have it.
Well, in my hypnosis, Chris, I do say I am debt free. I give positive suggestions. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. And if you would like, I'd be happy to share the self hypnosis. It's a 15-minute thing. I do it every morning. It just puts you in that state of believing that the money is already there, that what you want is already there. And you know, just whatever. And I have 4 positive suggestions I put in there. Takes 15 minutes of my day. I do it every morning and it's working.
Yep.
Absolutely. Please share. We can figure a way to share that.
It's real easy. You can hypnotize yourself. You can do that when you're driving. Oh, but you shouldn't, but people do.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. Who else wants to share? Remember, part of the 8 steps is telling everyone what you intend. Now, just the fact that Jackie shared what she's intending might attract a transaction to her. Maybe somebody online right now says, hey, I don't work the South Shore area, but I know Jackie's got some pretty high goals and she's a good agent. I'm going to send her a referral, right? Because she shared that intention with you. Who else wants to share an intention?
I'll say something.
Okay.
You know, the landlord that doesn't, I call myself the landlord that didn't have any shoes, because I've been a little too nice.
Yeah.
That I haven't talked to Ange about it, but I have a cute little house in Wellswood, which is near Seminole Heights, that I've given the tenant notice. I even gave her a little extra time. And as of November 1, the house is going to be totally updated. And I'm probably going to be able to double the rent once this house is fixed up, because it's a 2-1 with a den, and the den's going to be the master, and the bathroom is going to be the old washer dryer room. So without adding square footage, it's a 3-2 instead of a 2-1. So it's just something that's not, you know, I've kind of kicked the can, and I decided, no, it's time to listen to what we've been talking about. And they've paid, you know, less than $1,300 a month for a house.
Wow.
She wasn't happy, but I'm sorry. I mean, she had this gravy train for quite a while, but it's been a goal, and Lum's going to kind of help me a little bit. So this house is going to be, you know, a cute little house, and I'm going to keep it, but it's going to probably be double, I would think, at least, rent per month.
How nice. Right. So having the intention to be nice to the woman for as long as you had, you know, actually worked out well, because she made your mortgage payment while it was low.
Yeah.
And now she gave you the opportunity to move out and make it new again and double your rent. That's fantastic.
So that's the one of the last quarter goals here.
Love it. Somebody else share. Share what you're looking to accomplish.
I'll share.
I was hoping you would. I didn't want to call you out. 'Cause
Okay.
You're a great manifester.
I listen to a video at night when I go to bed. It's called Universal Minds on YouTube. You can even you could do the hour or the 35-minute. I do the 35-minute. And it's all about intentions, giving it up to God, the universe. And I have been away from that, and it shows. I started it back up about a week ago, and things are coming in. I'm working with Scott on some things. It really does work. And I have found that I have, you get a lot of worries when you're not making things happen.
Yeah.
So if you give it to the universe and trust that, and I said to you the other day, I will have it by the end of the year. I will have been caught up because I do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I have in my mind what I have to make each year, and I will have that. And so I haven't been disappointed yet by this universal mind, but I really would be interested in what Jackie has to share also, because at this time, things are much tougher than they were a year or two ago. And I think we have to use every options that we have available to us. And it is seeing it and believing it.
I'm going to share this tomorrow at sales meeting, but I attended a CEO chairman circle meeting last week, and they said basically this is the year we're going to have for the next 3 years. We're going to have tight inventory. We're going to bust our butts. It's going to be a difficult year, right? But that's not what we want to focus on. What we're going to focus on is that we're better than everybody else, and we're going to capture more market share now in this tighter market because we're going to use the tools and the systems that we have, right? So don't be afraid. We had a really good month last month, even though we had a hurricane at the end of the month. Still turned out pretty darn well. So, and we are beating them. It's fun. Thank you for sharing, Deborah.
You're welcome.
It's weird. You and I talk fairly often, and you went dark
Yeah.
on me for a while there, so I knew something wasn't right.
Right.
We've talked more in the last 2 weeks than we have in the last 2 months. So
I've been busy over on this side
Yeah.
with other, personal.
And the busier you get, the more help you need, and that's okay. What we're here for. Oh, Kelly, thank you. Love that show. Yeah, it's really darling.
Hey, Craig.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready to share.
All right.
I think I've been with you guys for a couple of years now, and this month is my renewal cycle. So I'm currently finishing up trying to keep my license and finish up those 45 hours post licensing. And thank you guys for offering some hours that allow us to actually keep those hours coming down. So by the time it is time to change that we are there for that. Right behind me, because today is 9/11 and it's a special day. I am in the middle of trying to rebrand my mother's book, who was the principal at Sarasota on the day that George Bush was in town during 9/11. And it's an emotional day because even though she's no longer here, I still like to commemorate her and her legacy, which is the basis of what you guys stand for, and that is education and empowering. So I believe, you guys' company and what you stood for definitely aligns with, what's important in the world. And I have been trying to work right now currently with possibly getting a listing later on today. And I haven't had much activity in my real estate business. But after doing these courses and, these hours, I've realized, my sphere of influence is way bigger than what I initially thought it was. I've been burned by a couple of friends and close family members, but there's a lot more people out there that I do know. And through my mom, being a principal here in Sarasota for 14 years, there's a lot more people I can reach out to that are, higher up and superintendents and people who are in a Republican Party that came to her funeral when she passed away because of her connection to Bush. So I'm definitely looking at life in a broader view. And thanks to, the Wednesday motivations. And, I've been spending a lot of time over the last several years listening to frequencies and hertz because there are vibrations out there in the world that, you have to tune into that, you can actually change your mentality and the way you think, and also accept, that there is a higher purpose for yourself and that you need to, go further in life and do more. And it's no mistake that I have my license. And I've also struggled with working 2 jobs. And so it's the fact that now I've reached a point in my life where, the other job never served me to begin with, but, it's trying to keep, bills paid and things on the table.
going forward, knowing that, next year my intention is to be totally 1099, with you guys, and building my business with that, and leaving, something that doesn't serve me anymore. Also trying to get a house because I'm currently a renter, and that's no fun for anybody. So to have, at least a townhome, or, something that would definitely at least put me on the path to ownership, and down the road trying to, build the game, like they said, with the 3 properties, and having something down the road in 20 years. I really believe in that. So that's what I wanted to share today. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for sharing, dude. That sounds like you got clarity and purpose now. And that's what's going to make all the difference. Because I think you're probably floating around for the last couple of years, not really committed to anything. But now you got these big picture things, which I think is fantastic, right? Becoming a 1099 full time, and buy a piece of real estate you can own, right?
Yeah.
Let's give it up for Stevenson. If you guys have any business you need to refer to the Sarasota market, there's your man right there. You do his work his ass off. He's got big goals to reach.
Yes, sir. Biggest thing is making sure I keep my license in this month. That's number one. That's my first intention. And after that, we're pushing on.
Yeah,
like I said, I'll be meeting with the client later on this afternoon, and seeing about possibly setting up a listing for her place. So ready to make moves, and ready to have fun and make money with you guys.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing. Thanks for showing up.
Absolutely.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments on that one, Chris?
No, man, that's amazing.
Well
Stevenson. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you shared, and so proud of you for sharing. If I can share one thing with you, a couple of times you said, I'm trying to, and I'm trying to, and I'm trying to. Just be cognizant of the parts where you're saying I'm trying to, and shift that side a little bit to more of an I am, or I do, or this is.
I will have done this.
Just shift it just that one step further. But that's just amazing, man. You got a lot of really cool goals, and I can tell by the way that you're talking about them that you're going to hit them.
Yep. And notice it wasn't about real estate necessarily, but everything's about real estate in our world. So it was a feeling. He wants to feel accomplishment of having a home. He wants to respect his mother. He wants to do those cool things. And that wasn't about, I need $40,000. It wasn't about, I need 3 listings this month, right? It's about the actions and the activities and the results that you want. And that's why we're setting these intentions this way for this particular quarter, right? But it starts with, and I'm going to close on this one. It starts with setting your intention. So nothing happens until the intention is set. And I'm reading from my phone. Angela can get that sphere and moxie and get your moxie on. Like that. We got to say that more often. Get your moxie on, right? So nothing happens till the intentions are set. And the intentions are feelings and emotions based, so they get leverage on you, right? And then you can attract those feelings or the actions that are going to give you those feelings. Number 2, keep doing what you're doing. You guys have everything you need to be successful right now. You've got yourself, you've got your office, you've got Beckons Enterprises, you've got Century 21, and we got Anywhere. I mean, we got everything stacked in our favor to be totally successful in everything we want to do. And everything is that you're asking right there for you. Number 3 is the fuck how, right? Don't get stuck in the how to. Doesn't matter, right? I want to become debt free. Okay. I will be debt free by this period of time. It doesn't say how many listings, how many sales you're going to do, right? Number 4 is tell everyone what your intentions are. And that's a little hard for some of us to share. My brother's coming back in. And lots of chats. Good stuff.
Telling everyone isn't about you just sharing and letting everybody know what you're doing just to tell everybody so they can hear it. It's really about creating one of the next steps, which is connect deeply with everyone. It's literally like part of that process. So the more people you tell, the more opportunities that you have to open up to other people who can share what they're doing, and you might be able to find some synergy there. So that's what it's really about. Like everybody says, well, tell everybody about your goals. That way you're held accountable. It's not about the accountability part. It's about the connection. If I tell enough people what I'm doing, hey, my intention is to help 5 more people buy or sell a home by the end of this year because I really wanted to do this, and I'm going to take this and do that and go from there. Somebody goes, oh, that's really cool because I was also doing something there. We might be able to help each other. That's
Yep.
really what it is about telling people. It's about creating another connection and creating another bond that just continues to help further that agenda that you're creating.
Yeah, and it also gives you the chance to help somebody else reach their goals. Right? As you share your intentions, then they're probably going to open up and share theirs. And maybe you have something to offer them that would just make you feel better. And that would in turn, I don't want to say put them in debt to you, because that's not what I'm trying to say. But if you help somebody else in some way, they kind of feel the law of reciprocity to help you get what you want. So it's all about communication. We're just saying the same thing. Talk to people in a different way, right? So that was number 4. Tell everyone. Number 5 is connect deeply with everyone. That's like asking them what they need or what they can do. When we went to Matthew's event, whatever month that was, Chris, Jeff, and I, he made us sit in a different seat every day at a different table with a different person. We couldn't sit together. And we had to ask each other what our missions were and tell them what our missions were. And I made a bunch of connections with different people, and I was able to help them out. And they were able to help me out just because we started connecting with each other. And what are your missions? What are your goals? All right. Number 6, play the perfect game. Don't be so tight on yourself that, you got to have this done by this point in time, and it has to be this way. And, if you wanted a white Lexus, but you got a red one, okay. Right. It doesn't have to be white. It could be maybe red is the right color for you. Who knows? But play the perfect game. Whatever comes your way is designed to come your way. Right. And then number 7 is ride the waves. At some point, the waves are coming, the waves are going. Right. Which one? If you miss one, don't worry. There's another one coming behind you. Sometimes you wanted to ride that one out. Maybe you missed it on purpose because it's going to crash your ass and hurt. Right. But the right wave will come, and just be ready to take it when it comes. And the last one is number 8. Don't be attached to the results. Right. Just having that freedom and flexibility to say, I've got the intention to be debt free. I've got the intention to be debt free. I've got the intention to be debt free. Right. If you end up with paying your house down 85%, that's pretty damn good. Don't be attached to the results, right? Because you'll get the rest later. Okay. Does that help anybody?
Hey, Craig,
Yeah.
I stepped for just a couple minutes, but I'm back on that. Did you hit the number of connections, the number of deals it's going to take to get those things?
No, I did not.
Contact.
Nope.
Let's hit that as we wrap up here.
Okay, so to manifest 3 things is what I wrote down, and then what's it going to cost to do that was number 2. Right. So Jackie, have in mind, don't need to share that with us right now, but have in mind what it is to be debt free, how much cash it's going to take, and then what's third part, Jeff?
Well, going through that real quick. So total up those 3 things, right? Say it's 30 grand, say it's 50 grand, say it's 60 grand, right? Say it's 100 grand, right? You can make 100 grand by the end of the year. It's no problem. A lot of people are going to do that.
Yeah.
You can make a couple $100 grand by the end of the year if you want. A lot of people are going to do that. And so the question is how much money, because guys, money does things. It fuels visions, right? Is what money does. So, and we're in an industry that we create money. We get paid money for our conversations. So if you need 60 grand, we want you to divide by 10. So the average check's actually over 10 grand now, right? It's 11,000 something, Craig.
Average commission last week was $13,000. So take a little bit for us, and it's about $10,000 to an agent in your pocket.
So yeah, so $10,000 per check. So if your goal is I want to do X, Y, and Z by the end of this year, and it's going to cost me 60 grand, then divide by 10, that's 6 deals, right? So if there's 6 deals we have to do, then we're going to simplify your contact goal and your conversations goals. So if it's 6 deals, then it's 6 new conversations every day as your baseline. 6 new conversations. This is not following up. This is not checking in with the FSBO you talked to 3 weeks ago. This is somebody new you've never spoken to, a new absentee, a new FSBO, a new expired, a new door knock, a new person is responding to you and says hi on a DM on Instagram that you're going to start a conversation with, right? This is new conversations every day.
And that makes it super simple. 6 transactions in the next 6 weeks. Oh my God, next 3.5 months. 6 conversations a day to get $60,000. How many realtors are making $60,000?
We actually put a 2x number to that, though.
No, we're going to ask you to double the test.
Yeah. So if it's 6 times 2 is 12. So that's just the way the numbers work. That everything's a numbers game, guys. So if it's 60 grand, it's 6 times 2 is 12 connections a day. If you need to make only 30 grand, that's 3 times 2, that's 6 connections a day, conversations a day. You want to make 100 grand, that's 10, that's times 2 is 20 conversations a day. So is that simple?
Deborah, can you find yourself doing 6 transactions, 6 conversations a day to new people?
Yes, I can.
I know you can because you're a door knocking queen, right? And you could do that in 30 minutes.
Oh, yes.
And
More.
Yeah.
I'm on a roll.
Keep that roll going. All right. So
I challenge, write down the three intentions, write them out, put them in front of you on your desk, put them on your dashboard, put them on your bathroom mirror. This is what you're doing this for, guys. This is what happens to you. And New Year's Eve, you're going to be able to check all 3 of those things off. Right. So that's the point. But you got to keep them in front of you. Got to tell people what you're doing. You got to start taking action and have conversations every day. And you will be sitting on New Year's Eve with a big ass smile on your face, checking off those 3 things.
I'll share something too. So I keep a list in Google Keep, which is one of my favorite apps in the Google suite of products. Google Keep, it's a checklist, just my grocery list and things like that. And I've got all kinds of notes in there from things that I have. And a lot of my goals are written down for my home improvement plans. And over the last couple of years, I just sat and looked at it the other day and check, new roof, new railings, new floors, garage done, boom, check. Windows was the last one. Jeff, as we role play those listing presentation things all the time. Windows are done. It feels fantastic. The last one on my list I have so far is my fountain. And I got this, I want to put a fountain in my front yard because a lot of my neighbors have fountains and I like fountains and I like the sound of water. I've got a fountain in my foyer. Beautiful right now, flowing down water. And, I was going to do something different. So playing the perfect game, I manifested a fountain the other day. I was at the office and Joy called and said, hey, the bank's redoing the lobby and they want to get rid of that fountain. And they said, we can have it, you can take it away. So I called my lawn guy and his sons went over and picked it up. So now I got a fountain. No, it's not the fountain I intended on, but it's a fountain. So now it gives me a project. I'm going to pressure wash it, I'm going to paint it, make it look real pretty and put it in my courtyard. So that's kind of the manifestation rules right there. It was on my list. I set the intention to put a fountain in my front yard. And all of a sudden a fountain showed up and it's in my neighbor's yard right now. Weird. It's not the fountain I designed, but it's a fountain and it's perfect. Kind of cool. So this stuff kind of works. And I think you all feel on that. So number 1, set the intentions is the most important part. Write it down and think about it. Cool. Let's get back to just repeat what Jeff said before. So assume a $10,000 paycheck for every deal you do, right? And put monetary numbers on your 3 intentions. What's it going to cost? In the example we gave is $60,000. So $60,000, $10,000 a check is 6 transactions you have to manifest, right? And then double it. So it's at 6, do 12 conversations a day, right? Conversations like Jackie returning the dog to her neighbor, right? It could be a high sell score, a remind call that Kevin Friel just did. It could be an e-blast from your Moxie database. It could be posting Puma's 9/11 thing today to remind people that you're in the business, right? Whatever it is, remind. All the different tools we've been talking about and we'll continue talking about. And Chris, you've been doing a very good job prescriptively on Wednesday telling us what to do. So that's pretty cool. So hands-on, get in there, go back and watch the classes. And Jimmy did a really good summary on Thursday. We went through all the different Moxie things that are available to you. And then he gave you a checklist, links to training classes to make sure you stay familiar with that. So we're trying to support you as much as we can, because I'm telling you right now, when the market slows like it is, we went from 5.5 million home sales to just over 4 million home sales as a nation. Consider, one, we're blessed to be in Florida, because there's how many people a day? 1,142 people a day moving to Florida. And Tampa Bay is one of the most affordable areas and most attractive areas for people to come to. So we're going to fare better just because of where we are, but we have to be in place. And I'm telling you right now, the prediction from my fortune ball is you're going to see a lot more agents, a lot fewer agents in the business. Because I showed you last week what Remax is doing. These agents doing 1 or 2 transactions in 8 months of the year. You can't survive on that. Those aren't agents, those are accidents, right? And they're going to go get other jobs or retire or do something different. Because real estate's not, it's just going to get harder and harder and harder. Right. So we got to be better and better and better and look better and better and better. And we have all the tools to do it. And we've got the leadership behind us, pushing us. When I'm being pushed, you're being pushed, we're all being pushed to be our best selves. So thank you guys for showing up this morning on a Monday on 9/11. And please tune in for Salesman Managers. We're going to meet at 11 o'clock today to come up with some cool things to talk about with you guys tomorrow.
Make it a great day.
Make it a great day. Thanks, everybody.